We begin tonight with a major problem that could cost Donald Trump and the Republicans the midterm elections. At the Kennedy Center, the traditional New Year's Eve concert has been canceled. As you know, the administration unilaterally renamed the Kennedy Center to include Donald Trump's name, a move that lawmakers say was patently illegal. And some musicians have taken the president's actions to heart, refusing to perform at the storied venue. For some, it is a matter of principle over profit. As one musician put it, quote, "Losing my integrity would cost me more than any paycheck." Self-indulgent vanity projects, though, have preoccupied this president in his second term, and the Kennedy Center is merely the latest example of the president's edifice complex. His obsession with the trappings of autocratic grandeur extends to various White House projects, ranging from the mundane, like gilding the Oval Office and remodeling the Lincoln bathroom in marble, to the absolutely outrageous, like paving over the Rose Garden and demolishing the East Wing to make way for a $400 million ballroom. And the president's DIY tendencies haven't been confined to the White House. Trump has festooned multiple government buildings with enormous banners bearing the image of his own face. And in his free time, Trump golfs or attends lavish parties at his Florida beach club Mar-a-Lago. And that tone-deaf behavior is setting off alarm bells. Take a listen.
His obsession with those kinds of issues actually are a political problem for him. I mean, people are sitting around and thinking about how they're going to pay their bills, and he seems obsessed with gold and putting his name on things and remodeling buildings and rebuilding monuments to himself. And I think this is a huge political problem for him. It's a symbol of his distraction. It's the Marie Antoinette thing that he's got going. He's not on the ballot in next November, but Republicans should be really concerned about what they're seeing.
And Republicans are concerned. Some are still upset about the president's unwillingness to negotiate with Democrats during the government shutdown. And as all of this percolates, there is more potentially damaging information from the Epstein files that is coming out regularly. And many Republicans are distancing themselves from the president ahead of the midterms, while others are leaving Congress entirely. Most notably, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Once a stalwart Trump ally, Greene now says she was, quote, naive for believing in the president's promises. Those kinds of schisms seem likely to widen as Trump continues to ignore serious domestic issues and as the midterms draw closer. As The Atlantic puts it, quote, Trump is suddenly looking a lot smaller. Joining me now to discuss all of this is former Ohio Governor John Kasich, a Republican who notably endorsed Joe Biden in the 2020 election. Also with us is Margaret Carlson, editor-at-large with Semaphore. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Governor, let's kick it off. Is the Trump fever in your party finally breaking?
Well, I think that the Trump fever in our country is kind of breaking a little bit. But, what Mark Twain said, reports of my death are greatly exaggerated. And I think some of that is true when it comes to Trump. He still commands a lot in the party. But as time goes on, as the economy doesn't recover, as we see healthcare costs increase, when we see these terrible ICE detained strategy here, where they're like yanking people out of places who are never done anything, commit a crime in the United States. I think there are Republicans who are beginning to say enough. And remember, everybody who runs for re-election, they can't run on Trump. They have to run on the basis of can they win again, and they got to pick their issues. That's why you're seeing some things break here. But we're still a long way off from seeing a complete shattering of MAGA.
One is that he lives in a mental snow globe of a fantasy world. And secondary to that is because of that, he believes every single thing that comes out of his mouth. And if you'd like to hear him stop talking, just subscribe to the channel. But in this breaking story, those two things are very key because Donald Trump says a lot of things, and regardless of the facts that are antithetical to them, he still believes them like this.
I know the best people. I know the best managers. I know the best deal filmmakers.
And it leads him to do things like this.
President-elect Trump making his latest pick to join his second administration. Caroline Leavitt, his campaign's press secretary, will now become the White House press secretary.
I know people that will make us so strong. I know guys that are so good.
And because he believes it, he creates a pile of cabinet clowns like this.
This cast of characters, this very, C-level cast of characters, very much feels like a TV show.
I know guys that are so good.
And that's great. When we're done, Joy, my wife and I will binge Lincoln Lawyer and Shrinking. We got to catch up on those.
But Trump will just keep on doing it.
Trump's pick for Attorney General, Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz, may face the most uncertain future.
I know guys that are so good.
He resigned from Congress this week, ahead of the possible release of a House ethics report into an alleged sexual encounter he had with a 17-year-old.
I know guys that are so good.
And Eric Swalwell's not wrong.
So for all the millions of people who put everything into this candidate,
He's like the band Journey. He just doesn't stop believing.
Other nominations that could face pushback include Tulsi Gabbard for Director of National Intelligence.
And it just gets worse.
and are hoping that he's going to address what they voted on, this isn't going to help them
Pete Hegseth for Defense Secretary.
at all.
I know guys that are so good.
And so I actually feel quite bad, for the people who believe that Donald Trump was going to come in and take their issues
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for Health Secretary.
seriously.
Swalwell is correct.
Trump has pushed Congress to approve his picks through what's known as recess appointment.
I know guys that are so good.
And then on top of that, because he believes it so violently, he doesn't even want people vetted.
Which would skip over Senate confirmation hearings entirely.
And the lack of vetting right there is one of the key elements in this really strange breaking story right here, because we all know
I know guys that are so good.
you are what you eat, and you certainly are judged by the company you keep. And in this breaking story, look who Donald Trump has in his Trumposphere and been hanging around in his orbit very recently. A little scary right here.
Breaking news, very scary, in quotes. Ex-Scientologist issues warning after Trump seen hanging out with members. Former Scientologist Leah Remini warned that President Donald Trump's administration had been infiltrated by members of the secretive church. Conservative broadcaster Eric Erickson noted on Tuesday that at least 5 Scientologists had been seen with Trump in the last few days.
I know guys that are so good.
Quote, lots of scientists hanging out in the president's orbit lately, he wrote on X. In quotes, yes, this is accurate, Eric, and very scary, Remini replied. Thank you